Good morning, everyone. My name is Sonia Holtz. I'm your CFWC Communications Chairman. Welcome to the room. Today is my workshop all about the tips and tricks on how to make your job as a communications chairman just a little bit easier because it's a very far encompassing job. All right, so let me start my PowerPoint. All right. All right, so let's talk about the things that you need to know as a chairman. One of the things that I really want to talk about today is that your job as a communications chairman is huge. You are basically everyone's confidant, best friend, editor, encourager, team member, everyone on your entire board, in your club, in your district, in your state, comes to you to communicate with the entire state. So one of the things I want you to be mindful of is when you're in that chair as a communications chairman, your team is basically the president. Barbara Briley-Beard and I talk on a regular basis as to what her goals are for my team, what she'd like to accomplish, what communications she's like to get out, because you're in charge of all of it. So you need to work closely with your president and really listen to her goals and be willing to take her goals and put it into writing so that it gets out to the state or the club or the district, because I do it also at club and district. And it's also not just your president, even though she's your primary person to go to, it's all the officers. So let's say that membership wants to put something out and it's all about a membership workshop that they're having. Your job is to meet with your membership chair and sit with them and write down their goals and see what they're trying to accomplish at the next convention, and then help them make sure that gets done and it's communicated out to your setting, club, district, or state in whatever way needs to be communicated. All right, so then you got to also think about your chairman. Your chairman have one specialty, just one. So they're very excited about that specialty. So meet with your chairman as a group while your dean, have your dean call a meeting, sit with your chairman and tell them, my job is to make your job better. So what can I do to make your job, your information get out to the people that you need to get it out to? Would you like to write an article? Would you like to send out a special press piece? Would you like to do social media with me? I can sit and make that happen. That's your job. Your job is to encourage and to get people to take that scary step into social media. The job is to sit and talk with people and see what they love to do. If they're really into photography, help them do that. Take pictures of what their topic is. Help them get that communications going. But here's one of my biggest tasks, and I need to make sure that you hear me on this. You need to be gentle and you need to be kind at all times. People come to you vulnerable and they want to learn how to do what you're doing. It's a big job, I get that, and you're busy, I know. But when they come to you in a very vulnerable state, I wrote an article, I'm not really sure if it's very good. Could you just kind of go over it with me? Sit with them, be kind, be gentle. Don't just do like, remember those old English teachers that handed back your paper and had a million red marks across the top and how devastating that was? Try not to do that. You're going to meet all different kind of people with different talent pools. Allow them to pull from their talent pool. So if they're a descriptive writer, teach them how to write descriptively. If they're an inspirational writer, let them write inspirationally. Everyone hears what someone says differently also. So allow them to grow with you. So be gentle. So take the time to teach. So one of the things that I've done as the president of Vista, and it's just something that I had to do because I don't have a newsletter chairman, but I have to tell you it's worked out really well. So we use one of those big programs. We use Constant Contact, and you can use MailChimp, you can use whatever you want, but every month my board has to go in and write their section of the newsletter. Now, why did I do that? What a headache, right? Well, here's the reality of the situation. They were sending me 900 emails on things that they wanted to put in. Then I had to send it back to them with editing, and they sent it back in again. No one has time for that. I'm sorry, we just don't have time for that anymore. And a lot of the small clubs really want to jump in further. So sit with them for a minute, teach them what you're trying to do in your newsletter. The more you can teach someone what you do, the more freedom you have on the quality of product that will be put out on the other side. So now all of my board members know how to go into Constant Contact and write a section, pull in a Canva ad, and be part of the newsletter in the way that they want to do it. And I have to tell you, we found some secret talent. It's really a ton of fun.
So, Sonia, did you want the PowerPoint up because we're not seeing it?
No, it's fine. I'll send it out.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about social media. So in the olden days, social media was one of those things that you could, let me see if I can get it up. Maybe it would be better to share it with you. Is that showing, Debbie? Okay, I can't hear Debbie. So is there, can I have a thumbs up?
No,
okay,
it's up there now.
Okay, great. Because I thought maybe Debbie had control of the room and I couldn't put things up. So here we go. Let's do this together. So social media has taken over all the ads that we used to do in newspapers. I'm sorry, guys, it has. Some of us have very good local newspapers, and I would never say not to use them, because here in our area, the Village News is powerful. It's expensive, but it's powerful. So get to know the editor and work with that local paper, but also recognize that 90% of everyone that we reach right now is on social media. Here are the social media platforms that we're suggesting as a CFWC team that you can jump into. Now, LinkedIn is kind of a business one. You go in there, it's all about business, what their businesses are doing. Think of it this way. There's two reasons to use LinkedIn. One is you want to get people used to thinking, when I retire, I want to join that club. When I retire, I want to join that club. So you're training people on LinkedIn to think about you when they retire. And you want those power players in your area. The second thing is, when you have an event coming up and you need donations, sponsorship, baskets, these working people want to be part of that. They just can't. So you're allowing your club to grow in a big way on those platforms in a different arena than the ones that you're used to. So you could put up, hey, we're looking for donations, drop them off at the local chamber, and you get a huge response. And then the person, when they retire, they're like, oh, what was that club in our area that made such a difference? Instagram is where the young people play, and it's a visual. So this is all about photos in one paragraph. So if you have a good cameraman on your team, you always want to get someone that knows how to edit your photos. And then you put a couple hashtags of where you're at and what you're doing. And our hashtag for this year is hashtag Aloha CFWC. And you always hashtag I am GFWC. You always do that one so GFWC can take your information to their pages, and they love to share what we do. All right, so the next one is Facebook. Now, Facebook demographically is where our playground. It just is. It is everyone above 50 years old. When I go to my high schoolers, they're like, we don't even consider Facebook a platform anymore. So what you want to do is you want to take advantage of this. And they're pushing really hard into nonprofit because of all the trouble they've had. So take the time to learn how to do Facebook. San Bernardino very kindly invited me in a couple weeks, and we're going to sit down and unpack how to make a campaign on Facebook and make it work for your club. I am always willing to come to your club, district, anywhere you'd like me to come, and we can sit down and make that happen for you. All right, TikTok. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. We don't want to play there. It's not something we're comfortable with, but it's going to have to happen in the future. So what we might have to do as a state is to have a workshop on what that looks like. We may have to sit down and say, what would a TikTok for GFWC, CFWC look like? And it may just be telling the story of a club woman or showing just the basics of what we do. Is it scary? Absolutely. Is it someplace I'm not ready to go? Absolutely. But will we if we have to? All right, so here's things that you need to know. Each platform has a different audience. So be mindful who you're speaking to. So if you're on Instagram, you don't want to talk about retirement. That's not Instagram. If you're on LinkedIn, you want to talk about business things. If you're on Facebook, you want to hit the demographic. Facebook's all about story, the richness of the post, emotions, and things like that. So the other thing is When you make a post about your club, district, or state on Facebook or Instagram, you need to put it public, and that's under your privacy settings. Why? Why would we do that? Here's why: because you want people to be able to share it. All of social media is built on an algorithm. An algorithm is basically a program that makes numbers, and Google started this many, many years ago. So if you want to make sure that your information is getting out, you want people to share it. So if you make it public, then they can share it. But you don't have to make all of your posts public, and I don't. But I do make whatever I do for the state, club, or district public so they can share it. Okay, I hope that's clear. All right, as you grow, it's about image. So what you want to do is every time you get together, you want to take photos, because you have people want to see what you're doing. They want to be engaged in what you're doing. I'll learn about a hashtag. A hashtag tag is an address, and it basically, when you put hashtag IMGFWC, that goes all across the United States and the world, because that hashtag is the address of GFWC. So everyone that's on that page has access to your post. Now, the one that we're teaching this year is how to link a business on a post. So at the bottom of your Facebook screen, there's a little one that's called link. And then you push on that. And if you're at the Hilton Hotel, you want to acknowledge the Hilton Hotel for having you there, because they're going to want to have you back. And the more people that put that link on a post, the more those managers will be open to those conversations. All right. So next is learning. So one thing that I have learned as communications chairman, and I have to tell you this, it's a constantly moving, constantly learning job. And you want to find ways to learn so that you can help others around you grow. So subscribe to a nonprofit magazine. There's some really good ones. The Nonprofit Quarterly is an excellent magazine. It's just excellent. And you can grow with the information on what those other nonprofits are doing. And then you can actually ask the editor for an interview piece for the Nonprofit Quarterly so that you can grow also. Philanthropy Journal, excellent journal. I know a lot of people swim through journals, but if you love heady reading, you can learn a tremendous amount in that particular journal. Now, here's a nonprofit blog. Do you like blogs? Does anyone like blogs? Do you love those blogs where they talk about how they're changing their house, what new food they're doing, how they're decorating for October or Halloween? Those are a lot of fun to be part of. This is the #1 nonprofit blog on learning how to do social media better. And it's called the #501 social blog. Here's the other thing. One of the things that I love is classes. You have a as a chairman, you're always having to learn a new program, and people say, well, could we do this or could we use that button? And your brain goes, I don't know how to do that. Well, I have some suggestions on places to go. One of them is Udemy.com. Udemy is a wonderful platform, and if you don't get a 5.0 on stars, they kick you off. You're not a good teacher. They don't let you play. So it's an applicable class if you purchase it. Now, here's my little say on this, is that wait till they have a sale. Don't buy them at full cost. Wait till they have a sale. Some days they're like $9.99 for a class of 53 classes. And then you can share those classes with your club or district, and you can learn together on something and really make a difference in your area. TechSoup, something, excuse me, something that I followed for many, many years as a tech teacher. Great resource. The other one is nonprofitready.org. All right. So as CFWC, we get asked a lot of questions, tons of questions. How do you do what you do? Now, you understand that we set up quite a bit. Debbie and I have worked really hard on Dropbox, and she and I have learned constant contact, and we're always trying to find something new that will work well for you. Here's programs. We get asked all the time what programs we use. We use Constant Contact, but our district locally uses MailChimp. Both of those are very viable programs. They are free up to a certain amount, and then you pay for the larger list, how many emails you're sending out. But here's what I suggest and why I suggest it. At the Women's Club of Vista, on the back side of Constant Contact, we do all of our social media back there. I schedule them once a month, and they do all of my social media. The other thing that's available on Constant Contact is that you can send out emails with little video clips after your meeting, thanking everyone for being there. You can also do surveys, and you can do all kinds of things on the back there. Constant Contact offers free classes. You can try it for 30 days without any obligation. So if you're looking for a way to update and get it a little bit easier for your board, I highly suggest Constant Contact. All right, Hootsuite. Hootsuite is a scheduling software for social media. If you do not have Constant Contact and you can't schedule out 60 days in advance, use Hootsuite. Hootsuite is a wonderful way to get all of your platforms scheduled out all in advance. So all you have to do is sit down once every 6 weeks and get your entire convention on social media without you having to get up 6 o'clock every morning and put it on social media. Canva. Now, I know you and I live on Canva, and now I have my students on Canva. Canva is Canva is a free, user-friendly, not so difficult publishing software. And it's just coming alive. So many young people are using this. So what they do is they submit their designs to Canva for free so that people will be able to use them. So if you want to use it as a nonprofit, all you have to do is you join up under your email, you open up chat, you tell them you're with a nonprofit, and then you put your EIN number in there. And then you have to I did about 3 times before they really recognized me as an EIN. And I think that's because of the background bot. And then you can have the pro Canva for free. That's what they do for nonprofits. All right, so the last one, and you know it's my first love, is photography. Do I have time for this, Debbie? Not really.
Yes, you do.
Okay. So we'll go through it very quickly. So you know how much I love photography, and as we're moving into social media harder and harder, it's all about getting that picture, and it's not always easy. So my first tip is every social media post is only viewed for 9 seconds. So if you put 32 photos on there, don't do that. The most you should put on there is 4, only 4. If you put more than 4, there is the other whatever is not going to be viewed. The other thing I suggest is please make sure that you edit your photos. Edit, 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 edit. Because you always want to make sure that if the photo was of you, you want to look your best. If you're taking a photo of a table and you get everyone's rear ends, it's embarrassing. The women don't want that up on the internet. But if you edit it in and you take that crop machine and you just take out just through the top part of the faces, all the women are fine with that. Be very aware that if you wouldn't want that photo on the internet, they don't want that photo on the internet. So be aware of what you're taking. And then here's my next one. You must ask permission to put photos of people up on the internet. You have to. When I'm doing an event photographer, I get up front and I say, hi, everybody, I'm your event photographer. If you do not want to be in photos, please come to me now so that I do not get you in the photo. And then when I take a group shot, please just step to the side. Some people have jobs that they cannot be on the internet, especially here where I live in Fallbrook with the military. You just can't have them on the internet. They're not allowed for security reasons. So just be aware that you just say that on the front, on the mic, so that they can find me as the photographer. And then I often suggest that in every yearbook, you put a media contract so that they know that if they are part of your club, you will be taking pictures and they will be part of media. No one has to really sign it. If they join your club, they're acknowledging that you're there. And the more they see your photography, the more they trust that you're not going to do something that will embarrass them. So this is just a very simple one. And it says the party grants permission to the club name to use their photographs on a company's social media account, including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and then on the company or club website. All right. So that was a tremendous amount of information in a very short period of time. And I know it's a lot, but I'll write it all up for you and have it on the Quick Bites on next Monday. Let's go to questions, Debbie. Where are we at? Does anyone have any questions or suggestions? What did I forget? Yes, Carrie.
Yes. We just started something called Meetup. Are you familiar with Meetup? I'm not familiar with it, so
Okay.
Can you give a little information?
Sure. Meetup is basically an online meeting platform. And what you do is you put your club and your date, and then people, if they want to show up, they'll, you don't have to RSVP usually. Usually they just show up. But as a photographer, we use it a lot in our photography circles for planning. And it does get your name out, because if they search Lakewood, then they'll see all the different events that are in Lakewood, and yours will pop up every single month. So it's actually not a bad idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Susan, good morning.
Hi, I do our social media and our newsletter for our club, and I would love to get newsletters. I find that it's fun to see what other people are doing, and sometimes it gives us ideas for projects.
Okay.
And I sent you a message,
Yes.
Sonia, with the email address for our
Mhm.
club.
Oh, very
If you could
good.
share
Thank you.
that.
So what we could do is we could put out an email to all the district presidents and request a forum to create an email turn-in of some kind. Maybe we can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Susan. It's good to see you.
to
Marilyn
see you
Marie,
too.
good morning.
Good morning. Sorry I was late, but I was working on the newsletter contest and establishing a new rubric for it. This is my second year doing it, and it's a challenge. So I've got this huge district. I've got 31 clubs in there, and I probably have 10 to 12 that actually do the newsletter and ship it to me. And I ship it to you, Sonia, as soon as I get it. Every month, whatever I get from the clubs, I ship it off to you. So what do I need to do? I'm the communication public relations chair and recording secretary, but how do I inspire them to do this? I talk about how important it is. You're out there, you're talking about your club, your community, all these things. It's a great avenue, but what do I need to do to get more going?
Now, the officers in the room are always welcome to jump in and help me with this. But one of my suggestions would be in your district newsletter, just taking a small paragraph and mentioning one of your club's newsletters.
Yes.
So that you could say, oh, well, Pio Pico did this really great article today about domestic violence. Go to gmail.com and find them. And then just do that on a monthly basis, encouraging people to find each other's newsletters. And then that will get the conversation started.
Okay. That
Now,
sounds
on the
good.
On the newsletter contest, we do need to do some, you know what, how about if I do some Canva? I'll get some Canva stuff up and going so that we can get the conversation started earlier, because it is a big job to read through those, and it's amazing what you guys do. So it would be really cool, maybe at the convention next year or something, we can display some of the people that submitted. I'll have to ask
That would be
permission
great.
well, I have to ask permission to do that. So don't write that down.
Okay.
Okay, Terry,
yes.
Thank you, Marilyn. Terry,
you.
did you have another question, love?
Actually, just more of a comment. What we do, when you said for the ask permission in the filming in progress, we actually have a sign at our check-in table that says filming in progress. Your picture may be taken if you don't want to take them, blah, blah, blah. We also have a form that anybody that comes in to do a program, we have them sign the form stating that it's okay if we take their picture and post it on our social media and stuff. And if they choose not to sign it, then we don't take pictures of them. So that's just what we do.
Okay, thank you, Terry. All right, well, very good. Judith, you had a question? Oh, I don't hear you, love. There you are. Oh,
I have two questions. One is I can never find how to raise my hand anywhere on all of the things. I've got chat and share screen and everything, but I can never find how to raise my hand other than physically doing it. But my main question is, I wanted to confirm, I heard that on TikTok, that what is shown in China on TikTok is completely different than what is shown to the rest of the world, that in China, everything is cultural and, like ballet and classical music and that type of thing, that they don't see what is being shown to the rest of the world.
I do not have enough information to comment on that. And I know that TikTok is like any other social media. Whatever you choose to be part of your social media is what you receive. So let's say if you love ballet and you hashtag 6 ballet dancers, then they'll send you ballet all the time. What I love to watch, medical inspiration, I love inspirational speakers, and of course, kittens and dogs. So I hashtag just those, and that's all that shows up in my feed.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
TikTok's even stricter than Instagram.
Okay. And again, where do I find to raise my hand?
Okay, let me go over that with you. I'd love to show you. So on the bottom of your screen, there's something that says reactions. Do you have that one?
Yes,
Okay, just push on that.
I got it.
Okay, no, it's okay. They changed it recently. So don't worry.
Okay.
And here's the other part, you guys. Number one, there is no stupid question or comment ever, especially around me. Number two, because I have high schoolers I teach, you get it, right? And then the second one is everything changes. All social media is fluid. So everything changes every 6 weeks to 8 weeks. So you are never going to be in front of this. So don't consider it a bad question ever, okay?
Okay.